Hello everyone. Today I'd like to read out the fifth chapter titled Hope from my manuscript The Imprisonment. This is a fictional story created for awareness and storytelling. It does not promote or justify any form of crime or harmful activity. Viewer discretion is advised. I'd like to read out the story. That night, Darshan stayed awake long after midnight while the Archana had already gone to bed. He sat at his desk sketching ideas, not just improvements but transformation. What if these prison cells could be redesigned for flexibility? What if one day, when they stood empty, they could be combined and converted into compact housing units for the homeless? A prison that could evolve into shelter. After several attempts, he arrived at a practical modification: minimal demolition, improved ventilation, and modular walls that could merge adjoining cells into livable spaces. It wasn't a revolution, but it was a beginning. The next morning, the siblings woke to the sound of the bugle. This time, it felt expected, almost routine. They met at the breakfast table where plates of poha and vada pav were laid out. Bhaiya, did you finish the design plan? Archana asked. Yes. Darshan replied, I hope the officials approved it. I'll head to the site after breakfast. What about you? I'll stay in today. I picked up a few books yesterday on improving narrative depth. I want to work on my writing. Darshan smiled. Good. I'll also speak to the jailer about arranging your visit. She nodded. All right, take care. As usual, Darshan walked towards the prison. The same shops, the same street vendors, the same faces asking for alms. But something was different near the massive iron gate. Instead of two guards, there were many, alert, tense, heavily positioned. Darshan showed his pace and approached one of the officers. What's happening? VIP arrival, sir, the officer replied. Two high-profile inmates are being transferred here today. High profile? Darshan asked. The first is Samir, the terrorist who's been in the news for months. The second, Anamika, a motivational speaker. Darshan blinked. A terrorist, I understand, but a motivational speaker? The officer exhaled quietly. Both were difficult to apprehend. Negotiations were involved and they requested this facility. They chose this prison. Yes, sir, strange, isn't it? They weren't strangers to each other, yet they arrived under very different circumstances. Darshan looked towards the gate. A terrorist, a motivational speaker, both walking into the same walls. For the first time since arriving in the city, they sensed that this project was no longer just structural, it was human. And suddenly he saw a story in it for his sister. He stepped aside and dialed Archana. Archana, something is happening here. You'd want to cover this from day one. Really, Bhaiya, who are they? Samir, the terrorist, and Anamika, the motivational speaker. There was a brief silence. Then Archana's voice sharpened with surprise. Anamika, I'm her fan. What crime did she commit? She was never in the news for anything illegal. I don't know, Darshan replied. It's all vague. Even the officers seem uncertain. I want to meet her, Archana said quickly. Please get the approval soon, Bhaiya. I have to cover this. She paused, then added softly. Poor thing. She must have been trapped by people jealous of her popularity. She can't be a criminal. Darshan hesitated before responding. I'd like to believe that too. Let me speak to the jailer. Inside, the jailer was overseeing security arrangements. Sir, I need a small favor, Darshan said. My sister is a writer. She wants permission to visit and document life inside the prison. The jailer let out a short, humorless laugh. Not today. I am responsible for two of the most sensitive transfers in the state. One is a terrorist, the other an acclaimed life coach. If anything goes wrong, it's my job on the line. Darshan lowered his voice. Why was this prison chosen? It's due for renovation. Shouldn't a terrorist be under maximum security elsewhere? The jailer glanced around before replying. They caught Samir with great difficulty. His surrender came with conditions. He wanted to return to his birthplace. Said that if he must die, he would die in the same soil where he was born. Darshan absorbed the words quietly. The jailer continued. There's more irony. His own son helped the authorities. The boy was influenced by a speech about making the world better. Darshan looked up sharply. Anamika's speech, the jailer added. For a moment, Darshan felt the weight of that connection, influence turning against blood. And Anamika? He asked carefully. The jailer gave a faint, knowing smile. Same reason. This city is where her journey began. He straightened. That's all I can say for now. Darshan nodded. I understand still. If possible, please consider my request. This story could open eyes. The jailer's expression softened slightly. Slightly. I'll see what I can do, but today is not safe for her or for us. You should return to your guest house. They'll arrive any moment. Darshan walked away, carrying two hopes with him. One, that his design would receive approval, the other, that his sister would uncover the truth within these walls. After all, he was proposing a low budget plan meant to benefit everyone, and perhaps in a place built to confine the worst of humanity, something better could still begin. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about this chapter by writing in the comments section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.